How is everybody doing today? It is Terminator coming at you with a new video slash new guide. This guide is for the Pristine Pelt or Topple Mama achievement or slash calling cards. We're just going to get right into it here. I got some clips for you guys. I have some information on how to do this. The first step is you're going to want to make sure your party is on open or not preferred invite only. That would be a pain, but friends only or open. Preferred friends only. You don't want random people joining. Make sure you have one friend. I would prefer to do this with a duo instead of trio. Now when you get to the mama back at the end, you can however invite as many people as you want. Well, not many as people, but up to 4 in the lobby to get the calling card, of course. But the one thing to note, the Dark Ops challenge seems to be a little glitched if you are not in the game from the start. So whoever is the person joining, so if the hosts will not get the calling card for the Dark Ops. They'll get the Topple Mama calling card, but will not get Pristine Pelt. But if you are trying to get Dark Ops, then be the friend that's joining the host. So that's primary thing to note. Make sure to be in the game from the start. Otherwise, there's potential that it will glitch out. All right, so let's get right into the clips, and I will be right back, boys. Okay, boys, so we're back and we're getting right into this. So we're going to go over the first couple things you're going to need. Not only are you going to need the host to be at least a semi-bit decent at the game, but you're going to need various feat as the primary fate that you get. And I'm not including like a fate guide in here, so if you guys don't know how to get fates, make sure to look it up if you've never been that far. I can make a guide for it if you guys want. But it's preferred to, you know, at least know a gist of how to play Dead Ops before you go trying to do this. This is not a beginner's guide by any means, but it's definitely a guide to assist at helping you beat this, because it is not an easy challenge to do. So as long as the host has Furious Feet and they're decent at training zombies, which just takes practice. I was not good at first, but it took me, I don't know, a few good games to get decent at Dead Ops. And even then, it was still a lot to get, you know, play 64 rounds of chaos. So what you're going to do is not only you're going to need Furious Feet, you're going to want to have your friend get, you know, it doesn't necessarily matter what they get as far as fates. After a certain point, when your friend can no longer help you and assist you getting through the rounds faster, that is when the your friend can start actually leaving the game. And that's why we went ahead and left it on friends only at the beginning. But as you can see here, as I'm playing, my friend actually has 0 lives and he has very small amounts of points, but we got up to around 31 or something like that. And that's when he started to have to leave the game, because what he would do is when he leaves the game and comes back, he would actually have a nuke every time. And so what you can also do, which I'll show here in a second, is you can actually pause your game. After your friend leaves, it actually pauses your game. So you can basically pause the game, wait for your friend to rejoin, and as they rejoin, it unpauses your game, basically. So what happens is it gives you a break, and then it allows your friend to nuke them again, and then leave, and you can pause the game again. Now, if you're any kind of decent at Dead Ops, I mean, you could technically do this if you're not really that great, but you're going to need really good timing. But if you're decent at Dead Ops, you can unpause it, train the zombies, let your friend nuke it, leave, have him leave, and then as he rejoins, you can basically pause, or pause until he rejoins, or you can train zombies until he rejoins and continues to do that. Now, as you progress down the, you know, down some of the harder levels, like anywhere between 40 and 50 are kind of difficult. It's going to happen more and more often where you're going to want to stay paused until your friend rejoins, because what that will do is it'll let you basically continue to kind of take a break for yourself and continue on. The only thing to note is with Furious Feet, you do get 2 boosts every round. So if you use what I was doing as a tactic, is I would actually go through and use my what I would use, my friend would use his nuke, he would leave or die and leave. I would then get him re-invited because I actually had an invite only, and then I would use my burst, my boost while he was coming back, basically. or during that time between him loading and you know, you're unpaused, which takes about 10 to 15 seconds. And while you're boosted, you actually have a invincibility barrier, which can kill zombies around you, which is about, I think it's about a 5-second barrier, give or take. Your character will glow green with like a green ring around him, and that will actually assist you in wiping out zombies. And if you can use that technique as well as, you know, saving your other nukes and things like that, because you do get 2 every round of the bursts with Furious Feet. So if you can utilize that technique while utilizing the, you know, pause method and invite, or let them join, then you can actually have yourself a pretty quick game. It took us about 3 hours and I want to say 30 minutes, something like that. But I was also running train a lot of the time. I didn't pause for a whole ton of time until like the very high levels, up in the 50s. The other thing I want to note is this next level. So at round 60, before you progress to, well, after round 60, before you progress to 61, you actually get put back into the wild. And when you're put back into the wild, you're put into this area where it's like first person, for the majority of it. If you guys have never gotten to that point, but there is a skeleton boss in this part, and when you fight him, if your friend decides to leave and rejoin to kind of get more nukes or whatever, because there is miniature skeletons around that you can nuke and get out. There is one thing to note, is that you'll actually respawn back at the start. The person will, not at the start of the game, but the start of the level, so they have to run all the way back to the boss. So that's just one thing to note. And once you get to that point, near the end of the match of, basically you roll into 61, which is the area where the mamaback will be. You progress through the rounds from 61 to 64. At 64, you have to fight hordes of zombies at the beginning, and then the mamaback will spawn, usually after a few hordes of zombies. This is where you can go ahead and invite your friends. Preferred to wait until this point if you want to help other people, because they're either going to leave and join to do the nuke thing, but they both have to be gone in order for you to nuke, or all 3 of them have to be gone in order for you to pause completely. But once you do that, then you can run the monkey around and whatever. But the person that stayed in the game with you for since the beginning is going to, if they leave and rejoin right before the boss is dead and they don't die, they actually get the Dark Ops challenge completed. But they have to be with you when the game starts. It's super glitchy for some reason otherwise, so I just wanted to notate that, but that's pretty much all you have to do. Like I said, you have to be semi-decent at this. This is not a novice guide by any means. It's definitely more advanced, but if you're still having trouble getting past those, you know, the 40 rounds, the upwards tiers of 40 plus, this is something that will assist you in that. And it's not necessarily an exploit, but more of a cheese, kind of in its own right, having your friend just come back in and uses nukes over and over and over again, while you can pause and kind of take a break. Because as soon as he nukes, and if you pause like right after he nukes and leaves, there's no zombies spawn, and by the time he's coming back, you only have, you know, by the time he actually makes the connection and spawns in, it's only about 5 seconds. And when he actually spawns in, or, you know, your friend spawns in, they actually have an invincibility barrier as well, so they can actually just kill more zombies with that too. So using those game mechanics to your own assistance, I mean, that'll definitely help beat this quick, or give you a higher chance. And so throughout the whole mission, or throughout the whole game, I ended up staying at around between 7 and 9 lives pretty much the whole way through, and that's pretty good considering. After your friend starts to leave and rejoin, obviously you want to give the host everything that they can get, so like all the points and all the stuff like that, so they can have as many lives as possible. So but like I said, you cannot be the host if you want to get the Dark Ops challenge. I mean, you can if you plan to not die against the mamaback, but it is a difficult challenge because there's zombies and giant monkey and everything under the sun. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Please leave a comment down below and make sure to sub. Follow me on Twitter, you know, get some of those updates. But I will see you guys next time.